My job today is to deliver some key messages, and in essence, it's really about making corporate cool. If you think about that, if you look at some of the pull-up banners over here, some of these key messages that have come into your mind, do you arrive with your heart racing or with your mind racing? These messages sort of like start to evoke it's a sensible approach towards really addressing your corporate needs. And if you look at what we've done with the E65, with the likes of the E61i devices that we've had in the past, we've taken those devices and we have taken a brainstorm session around it, and we have taken it to the next level. So we have a slider form factor, a nice continuation of the E65 being the E66, and we have the E71. The E71, for the people out there who've been using the E61i, for example, this is the device that really is the bee's knees in terms of corporate functionality. Both devices, if you're looking for the E66 from a slider form factor, slightly smaller, something that fits easy in your pocket, you don't want to compromise too much in terms of form factor, in terms of functionality, you have everything at your fingertips. Okay, so my job is to get these key messages across to you. 3 messages to start off with that I'd like you to take into consideration is HSDPA, okay, 3.2 megapixel autofocus camera, embedded into the device, as well as a GPS receiver or a GPS radio. In fact, it's an assisted GPS receiver. These are 3 aspects of the device that we've actually added to the products. If you think about the predecessor devices, E65 as well as the E61i. E66, at first glance, I think it's important to note that it's a no compromise design. This is a stainless steel design finish, and as the slide suggests, if I actually just look at the device and just try and speak you through it, talk you through it in terms of the way that the layout has changed for us, then at the top left corner you'll notice that we have the VGA camera, we have a light sensor to the right of the earpiece ergonomically adjusted to the phone for easy listening. It also forms part of a stereo functionality for when you activate your speaker on your phone. And incidentally, this device has something different that the E71 doesn't, which is this device has an accelerometer built into it, or a motion sensor, or an orientation sensor, if you want to call it that. And the idea is that it can render content either in landscape or in portraits. Okay. Also very cool about this is something that I found on the device, which has tap functionality. Tap functionality allows for you to receive an incoming call. Imagine you're sitting in a very important business meeting, and it's embarrassing, especially if you're trying to do a bit of maybe conducting an interview or something, and you don't want to be interrupted, right? If your phone rings and you tap on the screen and it mutes the phone. It's a very, very cool little application. Combined with that, the light sensor will also know that if it goes dark, by turning the phone upside down, it'll start ringing immediately. So nice and cool way of trying to communicate a message to say you're important, let me keep quiet in terms of the phone ringing in the background. So great design. Slider form factor. The slide form factor in the industry, of course, is a very prominent form factor. We address this in the context of a number of our devices. The E66 in the Eseries space, we believe is really going to appeal to people in terms of the way it feels in your hand. It's a solid, sturdy frame, and in many respects, this handset is going to do as well, and maybe a lot better than the E65. So, not only that, but making corporate cool. I wanted to show up with some Pumas in my suit, kind of thing, because it's really what it feels like when you have this device in your hand. It's a great corporate device with lots of multimedia functionality. So if you're going to be playing back your MP3 tracks, if you're going to be playing back visual radio on the device, if it's supported locally, if you're going to be recording video content, you also have a light at the back of the device for recording video content, etc. The multimedia functionality is as powerful, as strong as you'll find in most of our devices, and including our Eseries device. We have made this device fully compatible with our Obby services. Obby is a direct translation from the Finnish word for door. Doorway, if you will. It's a doorway into the software and services world that we're helping, or that we are aiming to enter into, and making the device live in a way that it hasn't done before. Which is to say, if you think about the device being sold to the consumer, it's in his hand or her hand, and then subsequent to that, making available services that then make the device wake up or enliven the experience for the consumer afterwards, such as the download folder that we have. We'll be going into the download folder and from a corporate service standpoint, and installing some applications on an ongoing basis. So it's up to the end user as to when they want to refresh the corporate folder and suddenly find some new features and functions. The E71, monoblock form factor, large LCD, QWERTY keyboard devices. 10 years ago, the communicator was launched. More than 10 years, in fact. More than 10 years ago, the first QWERTY keyboard device from Nokia was launched into the marketplace. It's quite interesting. And of course, some people prefer to have a QWERTY interface as opposed to multi-tapping on your alphanumeric keys. So this, once again, it's built for messaging. It's an email animal. This is a monster in the context of being able to do some amazing things. We, for example, have a wizard or a client that allows for you to be able to go and install your username, your password, and the chances are that your email service that you subscribe to is pre-embedded as part of the phone's embedded core software. You put a SIM card into the handset, and irrespective of what network operator SIM card you have present in the handset, we have auto SIM configuration, so it intuitively understands that you now have a Vodacom SIM card and all the access points are pre-defined and preloaded. The device in itself also does cater for the likes of corporate security. VPN applications can be embedded. We've partnered with a number of companies on this device. We're very proud to say is officially the world's thinnest QWERTY device. Okay, this is 10 millimeters in terms of its thickness. It's a very thin device. You can use mail for exchange on the device. I'm running mail for exchange on mine, for example. If you'll be using webmail solutions such as Gmail or solutions from Yahoo, you can go and install those email settings to your phone with the same wizard, incidentally. And I guess one of the things that we'd like to try to communicate is the use of the startup wizard. There's a wealth of things that can be achieved or done when you use the startup wizard, including the mail for exchange client configuration. Browsing either internet or intranet content can be done on the device. There are a number of intranet sites that I access with my E66 that makes my life so much easier when it comes to doing reports, etc. Quick Office, the ability to open up typical Word, Excel, PowerPoint kind of slides, the ability to edit and forward, perfectly functional for the device. Also, PDF files can be viewed. The Avenue solution is a solution pretty much with a corporate or a central computer where you have content, multimedia content, photos, etc. that you can access. And of course, Oracle and SAP solutions, being able to access SQL Server content for a field force on the run. S60 for us, in layman's terms, this is our Symbian platform. Very important, it's Symbian 3rd edition, feature pack 2. That's geek speak, I know, but just humor me. That's as advanced as it gets right now within the Nokia R&D environment. The device can be updated with up to 8 gigabytes of micro SD. So your micro SD cards, incidentally, I do have a sample of it because a lot of people tend to go, well, that's just a nice image to have on the slide. Do they actually exist? Are they available? And the answer is most definitely yes. Very good battery life. You have a 1000 milliamp lithium ion battery on the E66, and you have a 1500 milliamp lithium polymer battery on the E71. Of course, HSDPA. Okay, so high-speed download packet access supported on the device with 3.6 megabits in the downlink. USB connectivity, fast data transfer, as well as Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. Consumer experiences. Okay, so the RV experience. This is really a case of being able to go into an environment where you have a social network, and incidentally you'll be able to browse your Facebook content just as easily with this device. It does support embedded South African maps. In fact, it has what we refer to as sub-Saharan African maps, which all our neighboring countries' maps and detailed road information is embedded on the metadata file. Photo capability, of course, in terms of the RV experiences component. Upload your photos to RV directly from your handset, internet browsing, music and games. And then IP or PBX, mobilizing your workforce, the ability for you to use the device for making voice over IP phone calls. Very easy, very simple. Email. It's estimated that we have around 700 million business email addresses being used in the world, and over and above that 800 million email addresses for people for personal use. As I said before, over 1,000 internet service provider companies, settings and your typical, the settings that your normal consumer would not be familiar with in terms of configuring are pre-coded to the device.